But there's a reason why they're, like, as popular and, like, well sought after as they are, because they're good voice actors.
Yeah, but they
Like,
don't
nothing
fucking care.
against the new guys, but...
They just want you to make some fucking grunts and moans for a video game. They don't want to fucking pay for royalties. Today we're going to be having a discussion. Today's discussion is going to be about Nickelodeon. That is the only time I boot up this Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl game. But today we are going to be talking about Nickelodeon. But not Nickelodeon directly. We're going to be talking about another weird video game crossover they're doing. This time they are appearing in Smite. Technically they've already done a crossover with Smite because they did Ninja Turtles in Smite. So
Did they?
yeah.
Okay.
Here recently though, they are doing a Nicktoons crossover with Smite. And oh yeah, they also did Avatar. But here recently they're doing Nicktoons in Smite, and they're picking classic Nicktoons characters. That includes Rocco, Invader Zim, Danny Phantom, Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot. But the thing that makes this bad is the same problem that Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl had, that being with voice acting. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl had no voice acting until they reused old clips for voice acting. But with this, they didn't get anything. Like, they didn't pay any royalties. They didn't want to deal with it because the people who do the voice acting are in unions. So to save money, the company who is in charge of Smite, I don't know anything about Smite really, they've decided they don't want to get the voice actors back, and they don't even want to pay for the royalties of their voice work.
That's such a fucking... That's so shitty.
Yeah. So, not only are they not going to have, like, reuse voice clips, they're having full-on impersonators who aren't in unions come in. And one thing I want to make clear is, like, for the most part, the impersonators are fine. The only impersonator that I think didn't match up was Danny Phantom. Like, the Danny voice was very weird, and I didn't agree with it. It's way too, like, deep. But the other ones are almost impossible to tell. Like, Zim sounded almost identical to Zim.
Yeah, he did.
Jenny sounded almost identical to Jenny. So it's not like it's bad voice work. It's just weird that they wouldn't get these people. The guy who played Gur would love to come back to voice Gur. The guy who played Zim was very offended that this happened.
Not surprised.
Yeah, the other voice actors haven't really spoke out yet, but I'm sure they're going to be disappointed that the characters they played are in this. And according to the guy who played Zim, fucking Netflix has shafted them on the royalties for the Invader Zim movie.
Wait,
so it
really?
Seems like, yeah, so apparently it's
fuck.
just these voice actors can't catch a fucking break. They didn't get hired to do more voice work for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Then fucking they don't get hired for this, and then for the few revivals they're doing on Netflix, supposedly they're not getting their royalties.
What the fuck? That's so garbage.
Yeah.
Like, the voice actors deserve the recognition for their work, and, like, if their characters are being used, why not just hire them?
Yeah.
It really can't be that big of an issue just to fucking pay them. Can it? Really?
Like, they're union. Like, they're in a union, so that means that they get paid depending on, like, how much work they do and how much they're worth. And I'm assuming they just want to pay someone who will just come in and read the lines, and they'll pay them for the hours, not for their actual worth.
But there's a reason why they're, like, as popular and, like, well sought after as they are, because they're good voice actors.
Yeah, but they
Like,
don't
nothing
fucking care.
against the new guys,
They just want you to make some fucking grunts and moans for a video game. They don't want to fucking pay for royalties.
I guess I can get that, but it just seems kind of tragic.
As far as I'm aware
Especially
of, they
'cause
didn't
they
do
want-
this with Avatar, though. With Avatar, I think they got the voice actors back. It's just with these classic
Really?
Nicktoons that they didn't do it.
What the fuck? Why?
I guess because these fucking things are like older than Avatar, and Avatar was still like ongoing when they did like Avatar crossovers.
Maybe then, yeah.
Like Avatar is still a relevant franchise, meanwhile Teenage Robot isn't, Danny Phantom isn't.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
Avatar is something Nickelodeon is still investing in. I hate this game. Like, this is one of the few times I'll break the discussion to fucking talk about this game. They make the rematch the A button, and that is just so stupid. But, back to the, discussion at hand. It's just really sad that they include these classic characters like Rocco and Zim, and the whole appeal is that it's these characters you grew up with, and then they don't get the voices for the characters.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So it's like, why even? Why even bother?
Capitalizing on nostalgia, but then not even doing it to get all the fucking nostalgia. Like, why would you... What's the point?
Yeah, it's really stupid. Like, I understand Smite's position. They just want to do a little quirky crossover to get people fucking talking about their shit. But if you want to be this stupid, just go the Fortnite approach and don't have them talk.
Yeah, you could just do that. That would probably be easier.
If you don't want to pay royalties, just don't even fucking bother. If you want to have the characters, they need to fucking be the character. And it's like, yeah, you got impersonators, and the impersonators are pretty fucking good. But just like with Battle for Bikini Bottom, people are always going to wish that you just got the real people.
Yeah.
And I know Battle for Bikini Bottom did use some of the real voice actors, but for like Mr. Krabs, they didn't. And people are still disappointed, like 10 years later, that it's not the Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, well, I can't blame them, because why not get Mr. Krabs?
Yeah.
Like, if he didn't want to do it, I guess that's one thing. You can't really help that,
But this isn't a new thing in video gaming. Sega did this too. They replaced the 4Kids cast because they didn't want to deal with fucking, agents. They, replaced Ryan Drummond because they didn't want to fucking deal with, unions. So, this isn't a new problem when it comes to video games. And it doesn't seem to be a problem on Nick's end, because fucking all Nick was contacted for is the rights to use the characters. And they gave the rights to use the characters. It's up to the company to get the voice actors. So, it's all on Smite's end. Like, Nickelodeon had nothing to do with this. This is just Smite being dumb. Because they don't want to deal with fucking unions.
Yeah. That is just really dumb, because I really don't see the point in them even getting the characters if they don't want to get the voice actors. Like, I could understand maybe if they were, like, more, not really background characters, but, like, smaller ones. But they're doing ones that are, like, well-known, that they're doing it clearly for the nostalgia thing, because they're fucking back with All-Stars Brawl, and people are talking about how much they love them and shit.
They specifically chose, for the most part, characters that appeared in All-Star Brawl. And Rocco
Yeah.
is fucking slated to appear in All-Star Brawl, so they are just picking characters from All-Star Brawl.
Yeah, so why the fuck not get the voice actors, or at least, like, do...
I wonder if they're reusing models from All-Star Brawl, because it looked like their Danny Phantom model was better than the All-Star Brawl one.
Maybe. They might be using different ones.
It's just weird that they picked exclusively the characters that are in All-Star Brawl. Because Powdered Toast Man is a weird pick. Like, I get that Ren and Stimpy is big, but Powdered Toast Man? Like, it makes sense for this because they added in, like, Reptar, but, like, it makes no sense for Smite to add in Powdered Toast Man. There's plenty of other Nickelodeon fucking characters you could use that are more iconic than Powdered Toast Man. I think they just did it because these characters are in All-Star Brawl.
Yeah, I honestly think that is the case, which it makes me more confused as to why they wouldn't bother to get the voice actors. Or at least, like, again, do what fucking Nickelodeon did, and have just the voices be clips from other episodes and stuff.
I think they still have to pay for royalties on that though, and they just don't want to
Yeah.
fucking deal with royalties.
Well, I get that, but at least with royalties, like, you're not having to deal with the actual actors and their unions. You can just pay the royalties.
Yeah, they just want to do this as cheap as possible. It's a fucking cash grab to them just to get attention. They don't actually fucking care about the characters or the people who
No.
like the characters. They just want
No.
another fucking IP in their game.
Yeah.
That's the sad thing about the fucking Fortnite model, is like everyone's doing it, and not everyone is going to be as respectful for the IPs.
Yeah. Very unfortunate.
But the thing is, it's like, you're not just using a character, you're using people's nostalgia. And it's like, if you mistreat the people who made that thing, then, like, it's going to just basically be a betrayal to the people who actually care about this.
Exactly.
And maybe one day I'll do a whole video explaining why the Invader Zim fucking Netflix special was actually, like, bad and did a disservice to Zim. But for right now, I just don't like what they're doing with classic Nicktoons, and I think honestly they're just using these as quick cash grabs, and they're not giving them the respect they deserve. Nicktoons used to be in big games with big storylines like Nickelodeon. I forget what it's called. I think it's like Nick All-Stars Unite or something. I don't remember what it was called.
I think it's that. I know
used
what you're
to have
talking
like
about.
big games with big narratives and explain why the Nicktoons are together and have cool interactions. Now you get like fucking character quotes and character lines, and you're lucky if it's even said by the people who voice the character. It's like,
just,
it's sad.
it's such a letdown. Yeah, it's really sad. It's a big letdown.
Yeah, so I'm fucking, I guess at the end of the day, I don't really care about Smite. I've never been into Smite. It's not my type of game.
Either. Yeah.
But I can understand why animation fans are upset, and I understand why people who are fans of these characters are upset.